In the heart of the corporate world, where industries evolve at breakneck speed and competition is relentless, the key to sustained success lies not just in making the right decisions, but in building an organization that thrives on transformation. As CEO David Reynolds sits across from renowned management consultant Amanda Clark, their conversation is more than just another executive meeting. It is the foundation of a blueprint that will redefine the future of Elliott Dynamics. Leadership effectiveness, profitability, employee productivity, market leadership, and innovation, each pillar is interconnected, forming the backbone of a high-performing, future-proof company. But the challenge is clear: how does a company not just survive, but dominate its industry in an era of disruption? As the discussion unfolds, David must confront hard truths, embrace bold strategies, and commit to a culture of innovation that will set the company apart. What follows is not just a roadmap for success, but a masterclass in building an organization that is agile, resilient, and unstoppable.
David, let's start with the fundamentals. You've led Elliott Dynamics for 3 years now. How would you assess your leadership effectiveness?
Honestly, I've had my wins, but I feel like I'm constantly firefighting. Some days, I wonder if I'm leading or just keeping the ship from sinking.
That's a common feeling among CEOs, especially during high-pressure cycles. Let me ask you this: how do you define leadership effectiveness?
I'd say it's about making the right decisions, inspiring my team, and hitting our targets. But lately, it feels like I'm pushing people harder rather than inspiring them.
David knew the company needed more than minor adjustments, it needed a fundamental shift. As Amanda flipped open her notebook, she set the stage for their most critical conversation yet, a master blueprint to turn Elliott Dynamics into a high-performing, future-proof powerhouse. Amanda began with the core issue: leadership effectiveness. David, leadership isn't about making every decision yourself. It's about building an organization where decisions happen at every level with the same clarity, confidence, and vision as if you made them. David leaned in, reflecting on his own leadership style. Too often, he found himself firefighting rather than setting a clear direction. He was driving the company forward, but was he leading leaders, or just making decisions in a vacuum? Amanda laid it out simply: shift from control to empowerment. Instead of bottlenecking decisions, delegate with accountability. Coach, don't just command. Leadership isn't about telling people what to do, but helping them develop the instincts to make the right calls themselves. Create a culture of cascading leadership. Leaders must develop other leaders, not just execute directives. By embedding leadership at every level, Elliott Dynamics wouldn't rely on a single visionary but on a system of leaders who drive the mission forward. David nodded, absorbing the weight of the shift. All right. Leadership is about scaling myself. What's next? Amanda outlined 3 levers. Operational efficiency: optimize workflows, reduce waste, and remove bottlenecks. Every inefficiency in production, marketing, or sales is a leak in profitability. Pricing power: move away from competing on price to competing on value. Customers will pay more if they believe they're getting a unique, irreplaceable experience. Revenue growth: diversify income streams, monetize untapped assets, and expand strategically. A high-performing company isn't just lean, it's expansive.
We've slashed expenses wherever we could, but our margins are still under pressure. How do we increase profitability without just cutting deeper?
That's the right question. Profitability isn't just about reducing costs, it's about increasing value.
So instead of cutting deeper, We need to be smarter with our operations, bolder with our pricing, and more aggressive with growth.
Now you're thinking like a CEO of a market leader. But profitability wasn't just about strategy, it depended on the people executing it. Which led them to their next pillar, employee productivity. David leaned forward. I've seen it firsthand, our people are working long hours, but productivity isn't increasing. If anything, burnout is rising. How do we fix that? Amanda's answer was sharp. Productivity is not about working more, it's about working better. She broke it down into 3 factors. Engagement: do employees feel valued and connected to the company's mission? Efficiency: are they focused on high-impact work or drowning in unnecessary tasks? Enablement: do they have the tools, training, and support they need to thrive? Your employees don't feel like they have a voice, David. They see you making decisions from above but don't feel empowered to contribute. Productivity skyrockets when people feel ownership over their work. Amanda proposed immediate changes. Cut low-value work. Reduce redundant meetings and streamline decision-making. Invest in training. Upskilling ensures employees are working at their highest potential, not just filling time. Make productivity measurable. What gets measured improves, but focus on impact, not just hours worked. David absorbed it all. So instead of just demanding more from employees, we create an environment where they naturally perform at their best. Amanda nodded. Exactly. And when employees are engaged, efficient, and enabled, that's when you unlock market leadership. David stood up and walked to the window, staring at the skyline. Right now, we're a solid choice in the market, but we are not the first name that comes to mind. How do we become the leader in our space? Amanda turned to the whiteboard and wrote 3 words. Brand vertical bar, customer obsession vertical bar, agility. Market leadership isn't about just being big, it's about being indispensable. She broke it down. Brand positioning: people need to see Elliott Dynamics as the category leader, not just an option. That means defining what makes them irreplaceable. Customer obsession: the best companies solve customer problems before customers even realize them. Elliott Dynamics needs deeper engagement, better data insights, and a relentless focus on value. Agility and innovation: market leaders don't react to change, they drive it. The company must constantly innovate, adapt, and experiment. David turned, arms crossed. So we stop following competitors and start setting the trends. Amanda smiled. Exactly. And that brings us to our final piece, the engine of market leadership: innovation. David exhaled. I know we need to innovate, but we don't have the kind of culture that produces constant breakthroughs. How do we fix that? Amanda's answer was immediate. You don't create innovation through luck, you design it. She outlined the 3 pillars of sustained innovation. Encourage risk-taking. Innovation doesn't happen in environments where failure is punished. Teams must feel safe to experiment and learn. Cross-pollinate ideas. The best ideas happen at the intersection of different perspectives. Encourage collaboration across departments. Speed and execution. Ideas mean nothing if they stay stuck in meetings. The faster a company tests, learns, and scales innovations, the bigger the competitive advantage. The companies that survive the future aren't just the ones with a great product today, they're the ones that keep reinventing themselves. David absorbed the weight of that statement. So if we make leadership scalable, profitability sustainable, productivity effortless, market leadership undeniable, and innovation continuous, we future-proof the company. Amanda smiled. Exactly. David extended his hand. Then let's do it. As they shook hands, the blueprint was no longer just theory. It was the beginning of a revolution.